UK's United Kingdom Talk, our 3 times a week talk show from unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk and now on YouTube as well. In video as well. Now, it wasn't, I'll be absolutely honest, it wasn't my intention to start videoing every one of these shows, but I've kind of got used to it now. You know, having a little camera in front of me. As I said, can't really watch myself. It's true. Can't watch myself, but on the other hand, can't listen to myself anyway. My sister, however, has now watched an episode. And do you know what she said? You know, I mean, from family, you would expect something nice, wouldn't you? Let me just position myself on the chair properly. There we are, that's better. You would expect something nice from family. But she said, well, I watched it. Don't you fidget a lot, she said. I said, fidget? I said, what do you want me to do? Just sit here like a statue, dear? I mean, if I wanted to be a statue, I'd turn myself into stone and go and stand in a church somewhere, or on top of one of the posts on Trafalgar Square. I am not a statue, dear. She said, don't you fidget a lot? Fidget, dear? I mean, you should see her. You should see her on the settee at home. Fidget, you know, reaching across all the time for another chocolate. Puts in her mouth, or another little glass of gin and tonic. Oh no, she's like terrible. My sister, because she is, of course, a registered alcoholic. I mean, I really shouldn't tell you that. Please, it's our secret, okay? My sister, in Lincolnshire, in Woodhall Spa. No, I'm not going to point her out to you. I don't want you going round there, because I know we've got a lot of lovely people listening and now watching this programme. A lot of lovely people who only want to help. I know you want to help. There's a lot of letters, emails coming in all the time of offers for help from me, but I say thank you. But there are people worse off than me. I know that's hard to believe. There are actually people in this world worse than me. Fidget a lot. Do I fidget? I mean, okay, let's try and do it without fidgeting. I'm now sitting here not moving at all. How boring is that? My facial expressions will remain the same. I mean, you can hear it in the voice, can't you? You don't have to watch. You can hear it in the voice that my facial expressions are not changing. Odd, isn't it? You know, you can hear it in the voice. I'm doing it again, you see? My hands are moving. I can't keep my hands. Maybe if I had a straight jacket. What's that? Just like that, isn't it? If I put my hands, right, up my tracksuit, my hooded top that I've got on tonight. Oh, by the way, just for those of you who want to know, I'm wearing a rather nice red top today. Actually, when I look at the logo on the front, most of the time I wear the same make stuff Lonsdale because it's quite cheap here in the UK. I know in certain countries in the world, including Italy, I believe, Lonsdale is a rather sought-after label, which surprises us because we get it dirt cheap in a shop, in quite a few of the shops actually. But it's always it's good quality. It's cheap, and most of all, it's warm. Because you know, Chris don't like getting cold. We hate the winter here in the UK. That's not to say I'm going to turn the heating on. I'm not. Actually, it is on tonight. It was a little bit chilly outside. Anyway, so I'm wearing a red Lonsdale top. I think Lonsdale should be paying me to wear their... I mean, it's a huge logo, isn't it? It's an absolutely massive logo. I should be getting money here from Lonsdale. Or at least a few free items of clothing. That's a liberty. That's what it is, dear. Free advertising. Where will it all happen next? We'll start getting emails and that from Sainsbury's and Tesco's, won't we? Or could you advertise our products? What I could do, actually, is I could have some shelves put up behind me and then ring up, you know, especially for the video people, ring up various different organisations and say, for example, I don't know, Heinz Baked Beans. I said, oh, could you give me £50 if I display one of your cans of baked beans on my shelf for a year? Do you think it would work? I'm not a greedy person. I mean, do you know how much it costs to advertise on television? For £50, I will be happy to put your tin of Heinz Baked Beans on my back shelf for 1 year, 3 shows a week. I mean, you can't do fairer than that, can you? Now, of course, it doesn't sound a lot, 50 quid, but do you see what I'm getting? If we've got a shelf, well, you're going to need more than 1 tin of baked beans, aren't you? Huh? You need some sugar, some rice, some tea bags, and, you know, each one, obviously, would choose a different brand and ring them all up, and you'd have all this money coming in, just because they've got tins of goods on my shelf behind me. There you are, it's a good idea, isn't it? And of course, you know, I mean, maybe I could go the whole hog here. Who's that David Beckham and all them footballers? They wear certain branded tracksuit bottoms and tops and shorts. I mean, what I'd do for a pair of David Beckham shorts is... Well, it doesn't matter, Eddie. Yes, I mean, they all wear these things and they're paid vast sums of money. So why can't I have a bit of cash? Now, talking of clothing... Anyway, tell me if I fidget, will you? Hang on, let me just try. I'm going to put my hands underneath my top like that. Like a straitjacket, right? And I'm going to try and sit like this for as long as possible. Now, what's the time now? Okay, it's about 6 minutes past. It's 6, 7, 8 minutes past. I don't know what it is. So I'm just looking at the clock here. It's very dark, isn't it? It's a little bit dark in here. Well, of course, it is night time. That's why it's dark. Right, I wonder how long I can actually get... You see, I'm still fidgeting now. Even though my hands are now restricted... I've restricted my movements. I mean, some people pay money for that, you know. They do. I've restricted my movements by placing my hands up my my hooded top, my red hooded top. By the way, do you think red is my colour? What do you think? I've got a red hooded... My friend Justin, who runs Just Steam Coats, that's where I do the quiz night. We had that last night, actually, the quiz night. I'll tell you about that later. He reckons red is my colour. Other people say blue. Anthony says blue is my colour. Justin says red is my colour. What do you think, boys and girls? Is there a certain... Look, they're still up there. My hands have still not moved. But I find now that I'm wiggling around on the chair. I can't keep still, dear. Not for 5 minutes. Anyway, that's it. The hands have come back out. That wasn't intentional. It's like a reaction. I mean, what if I'm sitting here... You don't know. It could happen. You know, it's quite late at night. I could be sitting here and someone come up the stairs and attack me, and if my hands are like that, I won't be able to defend myself. Oh, no, we can't have any of that. No, I'm going to have to leave my hands out and wear fidget away. I hope you don't mind me fidgeting. It's not putting you off, is it? Some of you in the hospital beds listening at the moment, aren't you? Are you fidgeting? Oh, isn't it awful, dear? Oh, my God. We do have some hospitals up north. That play this programme out. Welcome to you if you're sitting there in a hospital bed at this moment. What's it like? Are you fidgeting? I bet you are. What about the person next to you? Are they fidgeting? They're doing what? Oh, Christ, let's not go there, please. It's a family programme. I'm surprised. I wish they should draw the curtains. That's... Do you think? I hope I don't fidget too much. Now, what was I saying? Oh, yes, coloured tops. What's my colour? Is it red? Or is it blue? Or do you think it'd be green? Green was my mum's favourite colour. I've got a lovely little green thing on, which I usually keep on. Now, I'm just going to move over there a bit. There we are. That was my mum's. I've got a little green... necklace type thing on, and it's got an emerald. It's very, very small, and that was my mum's. I kind of bought that for her in 2000. Was it 2000? Yes, it was in 2000. It was in June 2000 when I went to New York. And when she was in the hospital, you know, just before I lost her, she gave it back to me. So I always keep that on. We like the colour green. What do you think is my colour? Is it blue, green, red? We ought to have a vote on this, really, I think. What colour am I more likely to pull in? Would it be red, blue, green, brown, white, black? What do you reckon? Do let me know. There's an email to the show. You can join in at any time. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. What colour is my colour, do you think? Shall we have a vote on that? Come on. Join in the fun. Don't sit there all bored. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. There is a postal address as well, which I'll read you later. Hang on, I've got it written down. I can never remember the postal address because I've had an email in about the postal address. Something that I made a bit of a mistake a couple of weeks ago, didn't I? And I accidentally gave out the wrong postcode. I know. I mean, what if the guy doing the programme gives out the wrong postcode? What chance have you got? Probably none at all. Poor old Joe in Tennessee. He sent me a lovely box of tea and the most gorgeous chocolate biscuits that you've ever not chocolate ginger biscuits that you've had in your entire life, and he got one of the letters of the postcode wrong, and it took a little bit longer to get here. But if I'm giving out the wrong postcode, you've got no chance at all. There was an email here from Jason Allen. Hello, Jason. Lovely to hear from you. It's really funny, actually, because this email arrived, and only this afternoon, when I was out jogging... no, when I was in the swimming pool. I've done a lot of exercise today. I was out swimming earlier, Jason. While I was in the pool, I thought to myself, oh, I haven't heard from Jason for a while. Jason is someone that I've never met face to face, but he's listened to a couple of my radio shows on various different stations, and we kind of met like that. And now and again, an email goes to him. So he's done a little bit of designing work for me as well. In fact, I've given him an idea as well. Job. But Jason says, just watching part 3 of your 17th of January podcast on YouTube, I noticed when you were giving the postal address, you read out the wrong postcode. I reckon this is your home postcard and not your P.O. box. Just a warning before... well, it's too late, Jason. It's too late, dear. It's gone out, so that's it. So, yes... I did accidentally give out completely the wrong postcode, and he says you don't want a load of fans gathering at your door. Well, I don't know so much, Jace. I quite like the idea of that. I mean, what would the neighbours say? Let me just chuck this. Oh, I've got an old tray here. Look, isn't it terrible? I haven't got boxes of... Oh, I've dropped that now. 1 minute. Got a blooming tray in here. There's a here, look, this is from earlier. There's a cup. There's a sauce. Oh, it all gathers in here. Mind you, not as bad. That's it, let me get back on the chair. Not as bad as in some people's houses. Have you ever been round to someone's house and they have boxes of pizzas, you know, only a little bit of pizza in, you know, from the night before or something like that? Oh, it's horrible. And burgers, and you go round their houses and they've got a sink full of washing up. I don't know how people can do that. I really don't. How can you leave all the washing up for the morning? Unless, of course, it's a saucepan and you've got it burnt in the bottom and you're leaving it to soak overnight. Well, that's okay. You know, but please, if you're going to invite me round, at least do your washing up first. Oh, it's awful. You what? Oh, you want to know about my date the other night, didn't you? I'll tell you in a minute. I better write that down, otherwise I'll forget. Hang on a minute. See, you don't realise I do have a list of things to talk about. Quite often, I don't get through the whole list. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There are 20 things on this list, you see, right? And that sits next to me here, so that when I complete one subject, I move on to the next. The thing is, I never seem to complete one subject. It just goes on and on, doesn't it? On and on and on, dear. So let me see this. Oh, yes. Yeah, Jason was saying you don't want a load of fans gathering at your door. Well, I don't know so much, actually. It might be quite nice. You know, I wouldn't leave you outside. You'd have to come in for a cup of tea. The only thing is I don't really keep cakes in the house. I can't because the whole thing goes. Yeah, I can't be... It's like you know, apple pies. Sometimes... Sainsbury's up the road, they do quite a nice apple pie. And who else? I had one from Morrison's the other day. These are all supermarkets here in the UK. They're quite nice. The thing is, I can't have a slice and then that's it. I usually end up eating the whole family-size apple pie. Not all in one go, but usually within 24 hours, the whole apple pie is gone. Now that, by the way, is one of my favourite desserts. If I ever meet you, please, and you know, you want to make me happy, all you've got to do is a nice cup of English breakfast. Please feel free to write this down. I don't want you to forget. All right? A nice cup of English breakfast tea, very strong, just a little bit of milk in it, please. Oh, it happened again last Monday. It happened again last Monday while I was working at the Golden Lion, one of my favourite venues, as you know, but they can't make a cup of tea. Fortunately, one of the staff there is from Yorkshire, and he knows how to make a cup of tea. But, I mean, bless his heart. Bless his heart. The entertainment's manager there, John, who I get on with like a fantastic, get on well with, can't make a cup of tea, dear. He must have put half a bottle of milk in the cup. Oh, it was vile. Oh, it was vile. But why do people do that? It's not coffee, dear. It's not coffee, it's tea. Tea, I've explained many times before. It's a shame, really, that with the little video cam, I can't take that around like I can with the, you know, the sound device. Then I could show you what a cup of tea should look like. Well, actually, I could make it downstairs and bring it up, can't I? I'll do that on a future show. But, you know, you put your tea bag in, you pour your, must be boiling water. You remember, last year I bought a Tefal 1 cup, which, don't get me wrong, is very good. But it only chucks out very hot water. No good for tea making. It's got to be boiling. As that thing boils, you get your kettle. As it boils, quickly turn it off and pour it in while it's still bubbling away. The perfect cup of tea, dear. Perfect. You leave it there then for about 5 or 6 minutes, depending on how strong you want it. None of this waving the, you know, none of this dipping the blooming tea bag and dipping it out, dipping it in, dipping it out, dipping it. Oh, make me dizzy. It makes me dizzy, to be honest, to see how some of these people do it. Oh, no. What you've got to do, you put your tea bag in, boiling water, and leave it. In my case, usually for about 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. Then you remove it, you squeeze the tea bag against the side. I've said this story about 4 times in the last couple of years. You squeeze the tea bag on the side, all the lovely flavour floods out into your cup, and then you add just 1 or 2 drops of milk, just to lighten it up a little bit so it's not black. Because if you don't put any milk in at all, it will be black. But on the other hand, you don't want it looking anywhere near white. Absolutely not. It's got to be dark brown. I wonder if I've got anything with a colour on it here. Probably not. Let me think. What can I explain that as? Brown. Okay, like a bar of dairy milk chocolate. Yes, as dark as that. That's how it's got to look. So if you do ever invite me round, I'll have one of those, please, and an apple pie. I bet you can make apple pie, can't you? I wonder, Suko in New York, can you make apple pie, my love? Because you make very good snowball cookies. They've all gone now. There were only 3 of them. Blimey, I thought you'd sent them from a mouse, not a human, dear. Barely anything to eat. Doesn't matter, Suko. The thought was there. They were very, very tasty. Suko in New York, she makes snowball cookies. Suko is one of our regular correspondents of the programme. You will hear from her quite often, I'm pleased to say. Now, we've got a couple of emails to do. Let's see, did I get through all that? Oh, no, you want to know about this. So I've told you about my fidgeting from my sister. See, as I go through the subjects, I cross them off. Otherwise, I've got a terrible habit of repeating them in another programme. And the same thing happens to emails. Oh, I've done that before. Regular listeners to the show, I'm sure, will have heard once or twice when I read out the same email twice. So what I do, I read it out, and then I throw it away and delete it from my my inbox very quickly. Otherwise, it goes from the brain. It really does. Now, I was going to tell you, I did, yes, I went swimming today. That's when I remembered Jason, our friend Jason. And I've just sent him an email because he's a bit of a computer whiz kid. And I've asked him to make, you know, the United Kingdom Talk logo, the Union Jack with United Kingdom Talk in the middle. I've asked him if it's possible at all to make a moving version of that for the beginning and the end of the little video. So we'll see how that goes on the YouTube thing, all right? It's Chris Reardon with you, United Kingdom Talk.
Across the UK and across the world. From the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire, this is Chris Reardon.
Welcome, my darlings. Don't forget the email address. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Yeah, I've been jogging and swimming today, so feeling exceptionally fit. Foolishly, though, when I came back from the swimming pool, I meant to ring up the doctor to tell you about what the cholesterol test result was, and I've forgotten again. I mean, it was 2 weeks ago, so I must try and remember. How can I remind myself these things? I have absolutely got a mind like a sieve. It was probably all the drinking I did when I was 20, in my 20s or something like that. But I have got a mind like a sieve, so I must ring the doctor tomorrow and check those cholesterol levels. But today I went for a 45-minute jog over in the forest where I go. I have my little headphones on as well. I've got an MP3 player, a little stone. I think it's a Creative Stone, Zen Stone or something like that. It's a tiny little thing and it goes on your arm, doesn't get in the way at all. What was I listening to today? Oh, I tell you what I had on my tune thing today. You probably won't know, they're not that well known. There was Lonnie Gordon, If I Have to Stand Alone. There was Nancy Davis, If You Belonged to Me. I had Edwin Starr, It Ain't Fair. Lou Rolls, Stop Me From Starting This Feeling. Housefella, Live Your Life. And I think... Oh yeah, and I was listening to a podcast as well called Inside Renewable Energy, which I quite enjoy. That's a guy in the States. And he comes up with all the news, any news that he can find out about renewable energy stuff like wind or rain. You know, wind and sun rather. You know, I'm really into all that stuff. So that's what I've been doing today. So I went on a 45-minute jog, and it was beautiful and sunny today. It was really nice. People keep saying to me, do you go on a sunbed? No, you're having a laugh, aren't you? Dangerous, nasty, dangerous things they are. Don't go on a sunbed, it's not worth it. I had a friend, and I've told this story before, he used to go on sunbeds far too much. I mean, he was going on there every day for like longer and longer periods of time. Eventually, he got a mole on his chest, which suddenly got very big, and now he's got a big scar there where they had to cut it out. So please, don't go on sunbeds. As far as the advice all the doctors give you, you know, that you're supposed to put suntan lotion on and all that in the sun, I'll be honest, I don't do that. I feel, personally, that the sun is a natural thing. So being out in the sun for a little bit too long, I think is okay, because you burn, don't you burn, and you're supposed to put suntan lotion on, I know, but in the sun, I tend not to. This is probably why my nose, I often get a burnt nose, but the rest of me doesn't burn. But people keep saying, have you been on a sunbed? And of course, no, I haven't. Well, how'd you get that colour? When I go jogging, the sun's out, that's where you get the colour. Literally, I only need 10 minutes of sunshine, and bang, I'm brown. Lucky boy, eh? Right, so that's what I did today. Jogging, then I went swimming in my swimming pool, where I go 4 or 5 times a week. I do about 54 lengths. I was this bloke in the lane next to me. Why do they have to splash? Now, it does annoy me. I mean, I'm not a slow swimmer, I'm not a very slow swimmer. On the other hand, but you get these blokes, and quite often I go past the people that are splashing all the time. They're using all their energy, and they do this thing called the butterfly, don't they? Where both their arms and hands are moving at the same time. I was getting, you know... And people say, well, you're in the pool, what does it matter if you're getting wet? Well, the point is, it gets in your eyes, all the splashing gets in your eyes, and you're like this all the time, and you think, I wish you'd stop doing that, so stupid. And no thought for anyone else, is there, dear? You know, I mean, what about my hair? I spend a long time doing my hair. I don't want someone in another lane next to me, splashing me all the time. What a liberty it is, dear. It is a liberty. Anyway, so every time he went past me, I started flicking water over at him. And he did look at me a couple of times. Go away. That's what I say. What a cheek. I hate it. People splashing. It's not necessary. So that was my exercise today. And what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm cycling. Doing a bit of cycling tomorrow down to the bank. And then I shall probably go for a swim after that. So busy Chris. Always exercising. Very important. And I will try and remember to ring the doctor tomorrow. I'm not expecting anything major or anything like that. Open heart surgery or anything like that. I shouldn't say that. We'll touch wood. Shouldn't say terrible things like that. But it is nice to know the cholesterol level, isn't it? Right, now, a couple of emails to do. Now, this one This is the one we ran out of time on the last show, unfortunately. Now, this lad sent this. It's Peter from Košice in Slovakia. And Peter actually sent this just before Christmas, and somehow it got lost in the system. I certainly never received it. So he sent it again, and of course, here it is now. So I'm going to read it to you. We were talking back at the end of November, I think, and through December, about past Christmases. And Peter in Slovakia says, "It is past the Christmas and things have settled..." Oh, hang on a minute, have I got this wrong? Oh, you silly fool, Chris. I thought he was talking about... All I saw then... Now, here's a lesson to be learned here, right? Read an email before you read it out. I'll be honest, I've skipped through this, but I haven't actually read it from top to bottom. All I saw was, "It is past Christmas." And I thought Peter was about to write about past Christmases. Of course he's not. How foolish am I? Let me see. There we are. Right, Peter. I shall read... I feel so stupid now. I shall read it to you as it is, okay? Peter writes, "Hi, Chris. It is past the Christmas and things have to be settled before the end of the year." Remember, he sent this, just before Christmas. "I am Peter from Košice, Slovakia. I am your very regular secret listener from early spring 2007. Now, remember, Peter is not English, he's Slovakian. So sometimes the English is a little bit not okay, but that doesn't matter, all right? If you're in a foreign country, and I know a lot of people certainly listen to this programme to try and learn English in other countries. If you want to write an email and you're worried about the English, don't worry. Send it anyway, okay? And I will try and work it out. Don't think you can't join in. Anyone can join in. It's no problem at all. Whatever, doesn't matter. If you've got something wrong and you're thinking, oh, he won't want to hear from me or anything like that, or this, I will try and work out what you're saying. And sometimes I'll correct you as well. The reason I correct you is because, again, a couple of people who are in other countries have often said, please correct us. If the English is wrong, how can we learn if you don't correct us? So I will try and do that as well. Peter goes on to say, how this happened, listening to your show, is a very long and complicated history, both ideologically and also technically. Maybe I will explain it later. I'm a little older than you, 8 years, but exactly like you and our 14-year-old little dog, Buxy. Is it Buxy? B-U-K-S-I. I feel mentally and physically much younger, at least 10 years. So you're, hang on, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 1, 2. You're 52. So you feel about 42 years old. Yeah, I mean, I'm 44. I'm 45 next month in February. And I certainly don't feel 44. There are times, strangely enough, where I feel I've got so much energy. For example, at the moment. I mean, look at the time of night. Although it has to be said, of course, I'm used to being up very late. This is my kind of time of day, really, when I've got the most energy. Because I work nights, so therefore I'm like this. But I certainly don't feel 44. I've come across lots of people my age who don't seem to have the energy, certainly, that I've got. Maybe is that because I do all the exercise and I think I kind of eat fairly well. Do you do the same, Peter? Peter says, I do listen to the same music like my daughter, Linda, she's 20, and my son, Pito, 27. I even sometimes do listen to your beat match shows. Oh, yes, yeah, I do. I also do a music show as well, which is just all music. I say hello at the beginning of the show, and I say goodbye at the end of the show, and I just play music right the way through it. If I remember, I'll put a link on the United Kingdom Talk forum for that, to the Beat Match show, okay? So if you go, where do you find that? Go to the United Kingdom Talk main page to find this. That's unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Look at any of the recent shows. You'll find a link to the forums, and then on the forums there's all sorts of other little bits of information on there. Sometimes I forget stuff because it's all a one-man show, there's no one else here. Sometimes I forget stuff, and kind listeners will correct me perhaps on the forums. And also it's a great way to talk to other listeners on the forums. Alright, there's always people on there chatting away to each other. Catalina, our little violinist, 16 years old, she is the person who posts the most. I wonder how many, actually I'm wondering how many she's got on there at the moment. Let's have a quick look. Catalina, how many posts has she got on the United Kingdom Talk forums? Just having a quick look here, 1 second. There we are. United Kingdom Talk forums. Once again, to find the UK United Kingdom Talk forums, go to the main United Kingdom Talk website. That's unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and then find a link to the forum there. Now, Catalina, we've got 42 members on there, all talking away to each other. Catalina has 174 posts. That means she's made 174 different little comments or additions to the site. She's the one in the lead, followed by Carl in Yorkshire, but he's nowhere near her. Only 115 posts from Carl. Who's next? Let's have a look. It's Lee in Suffolk, young Lee. Hello, Lee. And after Lee, I would have thought it'd be Suko next, wouldn't it? Where's Suko? Suko doesn't go on there much. Let me have a quick look. There's Suko. Oh, Suko, you've only got 41 posts on there, my dear. All right, but it's a great way to talk to each other. And as I say, sometimes I forget things. Like I'll be rabbited away here, and I will forget to put links and things. And kind people often go on there and put the links on for me. All right, so do join us on there. And I will try and remember to put a link to Beat Match Show if you ever want to have a little try of that. It's all sort of poppy house music. A couple of people download that and play it in the gym. Peter says, after months of regular secret listenings of the show, ah yes, you're a secret listener, aren't you? Shh. Don't tell anyone. He's a secret listener. What are secret listeners? Secret listeners are people who are in offices or places like that, secretly plugged in to the back of their computer, or maybe with an iPod on, and no one can hear. And they sit there. I mean, they're nice people, but they're a bit strange, because you see them chuckling away to themselves with these. They're probably doing it now. I bet you now, at this very moment, there's someone in a gym somewhere lifting some weights, and they've started laughing because they know I'm talking about them. I am talking about you. Yes. Secret listeners. After months of secret listening, I began to feel rather guilty that despite so many invitations, I did not send you not a word, not a single email. In fact, I answered every topic or thought you ever mentioned, but only in mind. Well, that's all right. That's right. It's always great to hear from people, but you don't have to write in all the time if you want. You know, if you want to sit there quietly thinking to yourself, things ticking over in your mind all the time. And that's horrible when you're in bed, isn't it? When you can't get to sleep because there's things ticking over in your mind. One of the things I find it very hard to do, even if I'm tired and I've still got like a bit of work to do, then I can't go to bed. For example, the YouTube video version of this show has added on a little bit of extra time that it takes for me to actually put the whole show together. But I couldn't leave it, you know, leave the video. Once I've finished doing the radio show, I couldn't leave the video to finish it off tomorrow. I have to finish it now. And sometimes, to be honest, sometimes I don't get to bed till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's quite a normal thing. But I do have two relatively early nights when I go to bed at about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And those nights, I live for those nights. Oh, it's lovely getting into bed early. And the other thing I do, I don't know if I told you in the last show, I've started setting the alarm clock again for 10:30 in the morning. Because I found I was kind of laying in till 12, 1 o'clock, and that's no good. I've lost a whole day there. I can't do that. I know some people, they do it. A lot of DJs do that. They lay in bed till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, but I can't do that. So even if I go to bed at 5 in the morning, the alarm at 10:30 will wake me up. Oddly enough, since I've been doing that, I actually feel more awake. How weird is that? I now feel more awake by setting the alarm at 10:30 in the morning. Excuse me. I'll get hiccups now. But except on Saturdays and Sundays. I don't set the alarm on Saturdays or Sundays because I do get to bed at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And you can't go to bed at 7 and then get up at 10:30. That's just ridiculous. But remember, I do also have the 2 hours in the afternoon for sleep. And that to me is quite important as well. Am I fidgeting, by the way? Fidget. I am fidgeting, yeah. Peter says, months ago, you were talking about miracles. Well, this is a miracle. This programme is a miracle. Couldn't have done this 5 years ago, could we? Well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, 5 years ago. Couldn't have done a radio show on the internet 5 years ago. You could do it on FM, you could do it on satellite, as this programme is. But the internet side of it, and certainly the video side of it, could never have done this. Isn't it marvellous, eh? Marvellous what we can do. So this is a miracle. Peter says, I consider one of the biggest miracles how the hell we grew up and live in different societies and circumstances thousands of kilometres away, and yet every story, thought or problem you were talking about are the same as mine. Well, it happens, doesn't it? People have the same experiences, perhaps in different ways. I wonder actually how many people married and turned the same as me. You know, because I was married once. Didn't last very long. I got married, then divorced. That wasn't the end of it. Then I had a couple of girlfriends, and then I turned the other way. I wonder why. Don't know. People will say, that was your choice. I don't know if it was a choice. I don't think it is a choice. That is how you are. End of story. Nothing you can do about it. Isn't it odd? I know people. I know one person in particular who's a very good friend of mine. He always went out with other boys and then got older, men. And in his late 30s, met a woman. And they're married now and they have children. So it goes the other way as well. You get a lot of people that think, oh, no, well, if you like that, you like that, and that's it. I don't go along with that at all. So you fall in love with the person, not what they are. Would you go along with that? That's the way it is. Nothing you can do about it. You are however you are, and that's it, isn't it? Not that I'm saying that you... Not that I'm saying, Peter, you're going to go the other way. I'm sure you won't. But that was me. But yes, I often wonder if there are any other people that were married that went the other way as well. Maybe you did you? Not you, Peter, but anyone else who's listening or watching. Tell us all about it. We want to know. Tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. You've got the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I'm going to give you the postal address in a minute. I know I promised to do that a few minutes ago. Get your pens ready, my darlings. All right, get your pens ready. Welcome along. If you've just joined us, you're very late listening on radio. It's Chris Reardon with you. 3 times a week talk show, United Kingdom Talk. A warm welcome to you, all right? Peter says, sometimes I have feeling that you must have some microphone or any kind of sensor hidden in my home or in my mind. Yes, Peter, that's right. Not just yours, but everyone else who's listening. I'm listening to your every thought. It'd be good to read minds, wouldn't you? That would be quite good. If you could read... Well, I don't know, actually. Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know what your neighbour or your friend is thinking or saying about you? Maybe some of these things are better not said, eh?
from the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire. This is Chris Reardon. Chris Reardon.
Yes, Peter says, am I listening to him and watching him in his house? Webcams everywhere, dear. He says, I will not go into details, but for instance, last time you were talking about a redundant automatic washing. It was several days after I had had a dispute with my wife Betty about the same problem. She washes nearly every day. This was one of hundreds of similar situations. Yeah, oh, I see what you're saying there. So she keeps putting on the washing machine and she's not got a full load. That's a waste of energy now. You shouldn't do that. Let me tell you, my washing machine goes on once a week. But you have to remember, I'm like on my own here most of the time. So that's fair enough. But certainly, I suppose if you've got babies, you'd have to have the washing machine on a lot, wouldn't you? Huh? But my washing machine goes on once, maybe sometimes twice a week. You do not need to wash stuff all the time. And my clothes, as I've said before, ever since we stopped the smoking in pubs, I don't need to wash my clothes every single night. That is just and they don't smell. No, they don't. They don't. Oh my God, this is new on tonight. Where's the other one I had? Wait a minute, where is it now? It was here. No, it's gone now. There's no tissue on the floor. It's all in here, dear. It's all in here. No, you don't need to do washing all the time. But one thing is, you must do it in a full load. Don't put the washing machine on with half a load in. It costs you money. It's just a waste of money. Tell your wife Betty that. Tell her I said that. Play this bit of the show to her. Betty, message for Betty. Are you ready? Right, pause it here. Pause it here. Ready for your wife, okay? Right, and now let go. Right, that's it. Betty, hello, it's Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk. Your husband tells me that you're putting on that washing machine every day. Not good, my darling. You're wasting money, dear. You must do it with a full load, Betty. Stop wasting money, dear. We don't like... what's that noise? I can hear you've got it on again now, haven't you? Turn your washing machine off, love. You're wasting money. I heard lots of positive adjectives featuring on your show. I don't know what that is. What's adjectives? Hang on, let me look in my dictionary. You're using a word even I don't know there. Adjectives. How do you spell this? ADJ. I've got my mum's Universal Oxford Reader's Digest Dictionary. This is years old, this is. You know, when you lose parents, when your parents die, you kind of go to their homes and go to their house and pick up bits and pieces what you want to keep. And this was a dictionary that my mum used all the time. Just I didn't pick up much stuff from her house. There's a cabinet downstairs. Oh, I'm going off the subject here. Sorry. It's funny how you just suddenly think of things like that, and then you think of all the lovely times that you had with your mum and dad, didn't you? Now, what are we looking for? Adjectives. Adjectives. Just looking this up in the Oxford English Dictionary. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute, all right, my darlings? Adjectives. A-D... adjectives. ADL. 1 minute. On the wrong page here. ADJ. Adjourn. ADJ. Adjacent. Adjective. A part of speech comprising a class of words that characterise a noun or other substantive by limiting, qualifying or specifying. A word such as nice, as in nice house. Oh, okay, well, I get that, I think. I ain't got a clue what that book's talking about there. Maybe I should have picked something else. Stop it now. Peter says, it's hardly to think about any better. For me, your wireless visit in my home or mine at your house become like a good as daily bread. What, like this programme? It's as good as having bread. Now I hear your favourite... Oh, what a cheek. It is a cheek, dear. That's what it is. It's a cheek. comparing my worldwide unique show to an ordinary bread? It is a cheek. This is not a loaf of bread, dear. Do I look like a loaf of bread, sitting there waiting to be eaten and having butter spread on me? Having butter spread on you. Now there's a thought. Yeah, I still insist on this comparison. You may eat it every day and never be fed up with it. Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, if this show was on every day, wouldn't you get fed up with it? I'm sure you would. I mean, one of my favourite singers, Shirley Bassey. I wonder if I saw her in a show every day, would I get fed up with her? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. I certainly get fed up with seeing Prime Ministers on the telly. A blooming waste of space they are, aren't they, eh? The only thing which worries me a little is that once you would become a worldwide celebrity... Oh, not you as well. Suko said this the other day. Once you will become a worldwide celebrity in entertaining and show business, earning millions of dollars like many talk show stars do. We little group of ordinary people, listeners and friends around the globe will lose you. It says lost. It's lose. We will lose you. At least then I should say, oh, Chris Reardon, I know him from his humble beginnings. He is my friend. Believe it or not, I know him since we both had a first car, making sound checks, buying old-fashioned mini-disc recorders, filling flat bicycle tyres, dealing with stupid managers and politicians. You know, it's funny you should say that. Dealing with stupid managers. I wonder how many more ridiculous managers who haven't got a blooming clue about half of what they do will I have to deal with. No names. Absolutely not. Look, I know there are people that know me from working in various clubs who watch this and listen to this and are now waiting for one or two names. Absolutely not. Not until I come away from all that, and then, and only then, maybe I'll spill you a couple of names, all right? But not while I'm still doing the job. Absolutely not. The moment I'm got rid of, yes. What else we got here? He says, repairing water taps, cooking simple meals, making crystal radios, making bargain purchases. Oh, yes. Oh, another bargain purchase. I got a pair of... Oh, no, I've told you about that. My new swimming trunks, didn't I? Yeah, I told you about that. Repairing microphone cords, waiting impatiently for delivery, or patiently, actually, for delivery of new cameras, even lying in hospitals and doing other silly, mad, and also serious, thoughtful things. And he says, and what a celebrity you will be. Now, I'm going to have to correct you here. And I've said this a couple of times before. You must by now realise that money to me is secondary. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all right. Doing the job I do is not about making loads of money. We all have to live, and I believe in being paid properly for a job you're doing, especially if someone else is making money because of what you do. For example, DJing in a club. Okay, DJing in a club. Let's take DJing in a club, for example. In my mind, number one, I wish to entertain the people in front of me. Number two, I expect to be paid properly for that job. Notice, number two. It's the same with my bingo nights, the karaoke, the quiz. Number one, I want to entertain those people. Now, a manager's point of view would be, number one, how much money can I make from having him, i.e. me, there playing the record? That's how it works. But there is a difference here. With some managers, they have a good balance between knowing that these people have got to be entertained and the money that comes in. Other people, it's money, first off, nothing else. They're the ones, I'm afraid, that usually fail. It is very important to entertain. Look at this show, okay? This radio show, you know it's a radio show. It is now a podcast. Well, it's a radio show, first and foremost. It's a podcast, also first and foremost. Secondly now, it's now like a little video thing on YouTube. None of this is paid. So now you tell me, why am I doing it if it's not paid? And a lot of managers cannot understand why I want to sit here talking to you and answering questions and having a bit of a chat. They don't get it. They just don't get it. And that is, you know, to me it's laughable. Why can't you understand that? Why can't you understand that I just want to be a friend to someone? Try and make them happy. Maybe make them think a bit. We share the sad stories. We share the nice stories. That's what the show's all about. A lot of people don't understand that. But we do some very mad things on this show. And also some very thoughtful things. Peter goes on to say, I'm afraid I will not write soon because I'm a very busy man with lots of activities, always running and yet still standing in one place. Yeah, I take on far too much myself, Peter, a lot of the time. On the other hand, I'm sure I remain your very faithful listener. The same as to Joe's American Talk USA. Yeah, Joe is a good friend of mine, AmericanTalkUSA.com, which I did not pin the listener's map yet. Did not. Okay, you haven't put a pin on his listener's map yet until I first write to you. Many greetings to you and all your listeners around the globe, which I, during several months of listening to your podcast, nearly know them personally. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? The more you write in, people remember you. I've been working in clubs sometimes and people say, oh, I haven't heard from Suko for a while. Eh? Or how's Joe doing? So people get to know you as well. Joy a lot. You know, my friend Joy, you've heard her on the phone a couple of times on the podcasts. Quite often I've had an email from someone, how is Joy? We haven't heard from her for so long. She's great, thank you. She'd have a couple of little chest infections in the last few months or so, but she's doing all right. And I always tell Joy. Now, Joy, unfortunately, she hasn't been able to listen for a while because the satellite station that plays our little show at, RTI, has been through a little bit of a move. They're moving studios, so they haven't been playing the show out, unfortunately. So Joy hasn't been with us for a while. But yes, I still keep in contact with her on the telephone. And Peter also sends some hundreds of pictures that he's got attached to various subjects that we've been talking about. Now, let me just bring them up on the computer screen. Excuse me. There we are. First of all, Peter sends a load of pictures of loads of keys in, and his crystal radio. He's got a crystal radio there, which is one of the simplest pieces of equipment, electrical equipment I've ever seen. Fantastic picture there. Also, a picture of his newer electrical stuff. He's got his mini disc Walkman. His MP3 player. What's that? Is that a cassette Walkman there as well you've got? I noticed actually, is it Sony? They've got a cassette Walkman still for sale at the moment, which is good, isn't it? There's the broken down washing. There's the washing machine that gets used too much. I know you've got a top loader there, haven't you, Peter? Top loader. And lots of scales. Now, listeners to the show will remember the scales. The scales that I wear myself on, I've got mechanical ones and electronic ones as well. And the electronic ones are always read much heavier than the other ones. Actually, let's just weigh myself. I'm going to weigh myself now because I haven't done myself for a while, and we'll see what it says. I've only actually got the mechanical ones up here. Right, hang on, I'll just weigh myself now. Oh, these are mechanical scales that I use, and they usually read me 11 stone 13. So they're a bit off at the moment. Let me just adjust those. It's all right, I won't cheat. You're only cheating yourself when you if you muck about. Right, now I'm hoping this will be 11 stone 13. Let's have a look. And it is. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. No, I think we're just on the 12. No, we're on the 12. we're on the 12 stone there, which is a bit disappointing. But there you are. You know, you can't have it all the time. And that's been since Christmas. I've not been able to shift that extra couple of pounds for some reason. So thank you very much for the pictures there, Peter. Very good quality pictures, I must say. Have you got a good camera? Have you? I did write back to Peter saying I got your email. He says, thank you for the instant confirmation of my mail. I prepared several more photos, but they're too big files. Make them smaller. Yeah, make them smaller and send them through. He says he used to listen to the show on FM in Cossis, isn't it? Yep. But he now listens on the MP3. He downloads the podcast and listens via podcast. So, yeah. So, thank you for that one, Peter. Also, we have some people listen on Live 365, which is like an American radio hosting service. I wonder if you listen on Live 365, let me know. I've got no idea how many people listen, to be honest. I'm not a great statistic person. I just like to do this, and people who listen now. Oh, look at the time. I'm going to give you the postal address now, quickly, before I go. All right? It's Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, RG429ED, United Kingdom. All right, once again, it's Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, BRACKNELL, RG429ED, United Kingdom. And I'm out of time. Thank you, as always, very much for joining me. I'll see you on the next show. Don't forget the main United Kingdom Talk website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.